Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of my book talk. My name is Femi Martin, and I'm the author of Jesus the Egyptian. This is the book that we are reading and discussing. If you haven't got a copy, please go and get your copy today. It's available on every digital store online. You can get a copy. There is a paperback version on Amazon as well, so you can get a copy today so that you can join us on this book talk, because we are reading it and we are discussing it as we go along. The main points, the reason for this is because I want to show the relevancy of what the book is talking about, so that we all can enjoy the book and know what the book is really about. We are talking about the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ when he was a baby in Egypt. And as the record shows, they spent 3 years in Egypt. But where did they live? How did they live? How did they survive? Because leaving Bethlehem, in the night they left without anything on them, but just the present that the 3 wise men gave to baby Jesus. And they left for Egypt. So how did they fend for themselves? All these were answered in Jesus the Egyptian. So far, we've reached chapter 8. To catch up with the rest of the episode, or rest of the chapters, you can check on the previous episode, and you can get it on my channel. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll be able to get onto the other episode and catch up with us. So without further ado, we're going straight into today's episode. Today, the title for today is Herod's Sickness. We're on chapter 8, Herod's Sickness. In the previous episode, we've seen how Herod sent out his spies into Egypt and everywhere to be working to find the Holy Child, because he knows he has not killed the Holy Child in his massacre. Somehow the information reached him that the Holy Child escaped. We don't know how kings get their information, but they do get informations. And information got to Herod that he has not killed the Holy Child, that they have escaped. So he sent out spies everywhere looking for them. And they found them in Egypt. So he set Egypt as his main cause of operation to focus on, because he knows they are in Egypt. So we read further now. Chapter 8, Herod's Sickness. King Herod is sick of one thing. He can't stop killing. His insecurity has grown to a treacherous stage, and his officials know this. Most of them are frightened for their lives, and the fear is what pushes them to do his evil biddings. Namibia, Herod's chief foreign minister to Egypt, is picked up from his house early in the morning and taken into the underground room below the palace. There, Herod joins them, and he questions Namibia. In the room is a table with tools like a butcher set. From the ceiling hang about 5 swords in their scabbards. Tell me, Namibia, says King Herod, as my senior foreign affairs minister, what is your priority? Here now, Herod has taken his foreign affairs minister to Egypt, Namibia. They've arrested him. And why? Because Herod has got information again. How does the king hear information? What is going on? He got information that Namibia failed to kidnap the Holy Child. Because in the previous chapter, we read how they attacked the Holy Family in Samanus City. And that's why they tied Mary down and they were about to kidnap the Holy Child. But they couldn't take him. So this information has reached Herod. That they found the Holy Child, but they couldn't kidnap him. They didn't kidnap him. And this is how Aaron takes the information that was given to him. To make you look good abroad, your highness, and to do your biddings. Tell me, why did your men find the holy child, but not take him? I don't know, your highness, Naima says with a shaky voice. They said they are afraid of God. What has God got to do with it? Your men failed me. You are to be punished for it, as it has been brought to my attention that you and the holy child are planning together to take my throne from me. That can't be possible, your highness. Why can't it? Your men found the child, I was told, but they let him go again. Not like that, your highness, Naimba says. Now really fighting for his life. Then correct me and tell me why you still failed to succeed at this mission, though I appointed you almost a year ago. Aaron grabs hold of one of the sword that hangs down from the ceiling in the room. He pokes it through Naimba's stomach, and the man screamed while blood flows out of him. We see Aaron now at his own trick, at his own tax, his own deed. Now, the information he got, either they told him that way or he thinks it that way himself, that Naimba is planning to take his throne with the only child. But he knows the only child is going to rule after him. So that is what he's preventing. But Naimba now he puts in the spotlight along with the only child that they are both planning to take his throne. Is insecurity about the only child taking his throne that is driving him insane. So for them to find the only child and did not kidnap him, so he believes that they're all working against him. They're all working together with the only child. Let's go further. How does that feel? Now, traitor, Aaron says, if you can't do a job, you could at least admit to it and not waste my time. Aaron walks around him in the chair he's strapped to. With the sword still in his hand, it takes its time while Naimba is crying in pain. I didn't do anything wrong, Naimba says. Who says you did nothing wrong? Where is the only child? Why did your men refuse to capture him? Aaron says. Then he pokes him with the sword again before he put the sword through his left shoulder. He rips the sword out and Naimba screams out again. Now the truth, Aaron says. Do you want my throne or not? Are you working with the only child or not? You told me to find him. That's what I'm doing, Naimba says, spitting out blood as he speaks. Naimba doesn't notice that he removed the title Your Highness from his sentence, but Aaron does. See, he can't call me his king anymore because he's planning to take my throne. Of course, after Aaron arranged the death of his first wife and two sons for plotting to take the throne from him, most of Aaron's officials fear for their life. None of them dare to rebuke him or confront him for his wrongdoing. On this day, Naimba looked into Aaron's eye. Maybe because he knows he will die anyway, still in pain. He looks up into Aaron's eyes. You are the evil man, Naimba says. You send us on your evil errand, and we go and do them for you. You are not good for Judea. Aaron listened to him. Once he had finished speaking, Aaron lifted his sword up and sent it through his heart. It pierced him so deep that you can see a hole in his chest. Yeah, of course, it is in history. It's really not in history that King Herod killed his two sons and wife because they are planning to take the throne from him. He killed them, his sons and wife, just because of the throne. A wicked man. So he's still not. He's really insecure about his throne. is insecure about his throne. For a man to kill his own sons because of a throne, that's beyond recognition. Die, you bloody traitor, Herod says. He pulled his sword back out, dripping with Naimba's blood. Naimba looked up for the last time and speak. You are a sick man. He drops his head and gives up the ghost. Herod drops the sword and calls to his guard. The words Naimba said didn't even penetrate his skin, much less his heart. He walks out and on his way out, he says to the two guards, get rid of his body. The traitor wouldn't confess. But what will Naimba confess to? He's only doing what Herod tells him to do. So he wants him to admit that he's plotting to take the throne with the only child, which is still gonna hand in his death anyway. It's still gonna kill him. So Naimba has fought for death. Once they made that mistake not picking up the only child, has been marked for death. The leader. Herod walk away from the scene of his crime and walks into his throne room. The death of Nahimba passes with only a silent mourning. Nobody dared to confront him or challenge him because since he had killed his own wife and two sons, the council believed that is the end of it. Any living man that kills his own son and wife for a throne has definitely lost the concept of a family life. He has gone to the ultimate level of devilishness. A devil cannot conceive the concept of a family life. They fail woefully at it because of the love and sharing and commitment involved in having a family life. Who is saved from King Herod? Apparently nobody. Nobody at all is safe, and they all know it. On reaching his throne room, King Herod calls a guard and tells them whom to summon. He's been thinking of the man once he left the underground and scene of his crime. Godwin Osao, a man from Jericho, arrives, looking tall and gallant with long brown hair. He is known to have made his money ripping people off, but in the service of the king is a very honored. He's rough looking with a high temper and an ego that boasts of cruelty. Godwin Osao, you are definitely the man for this job, Eros says and beckons him to approach. A post is open in my service. I think it will suit you. You are the man for the job. Godwin allows himself a grin, but says nothing. Just like everyone else, he knows what King Herod is like. He knows the danger involved in working for him and the reward as well. Either way, a king's work cannot go undelivered. I want you to fill the post of my foreign affairs minister in Egypt, Herod says. He waits, giving Godwin time to digest the news. Then he says, jovially with a smile, how do you like it? I like it, Your Highness, Godwin says, then asks, what must I do? Herod coughs and sits right back on his throne. Then he says, there is a mission going on in Egypt now. The only child is believed to be in Egypt. They've seen him there, but the stupid men failed to capture him. So you want me to capture a holy child? It's not just a holy child, Herod says. They said he is going to become the king of the Jews, which means he's going to take my throne. God forbid. Any soul who dares try my throne will face my sword. Kidnap the child and bring him to me. So you don't want us to kill him. I want it done in my presence, so I can be sure he is dead. But, if I may ask, Your Highness, Godwin says, looking worried and confused, how exactly did you say you heard about this only child becoming the king of the Jews? Three wise men came into my palace thinking the child is here. What a mistake they made. But that is for my benefit. They came from far with gifts for him. But are you sure about this, Your Highness? I've investigated and it has been confirmed that the only child was born in Bethlehem. You've killed all the babies, all the newborn babies in Bethlehem. How did they escape? Godwin says. Yes, I did, but somehow they managed to escape. They are found in Egypt. But what about Pharaoh in Egypt? Godwin asked. I will send you with gift for Pharaoh to come, and he should give you permission to do what you need to do. God knows how he's appointed as foreign affairs minister to Egypt, just like that. And his assignment is to capture the holy child in Egypt. That's the end of the chapter. We shall continue on the next episode on chapter 9. As we see now, the, the chapter title says error sickness. So error sickness is really killing people. It's really sick. That's the sickness. It just kills as he likes. If he can kill his own son and a wife because of a throne, there's nobody else that is safe from him that he cannot kill because of that throne. And it's quite a very shallow thinking. Is he not going to die and leave the throne to his child? Why is he killing his son because of the throne that he's going to die and leave it and leave over to them? So, before we go on this episode, I would like to continue my testimony. Where I stopped last time is that we are in the throne hall again after the many travels and journey, and I was coming back from there. Then, because as I was coming down, I remember that looking at this, I was looking into the spirit world, and I can see how they were all laid from the sky. From the sky. Then I went back into the throne room. Then from there, afterwards, I've been living, trying to piece together the mysteries which I've undertaken. Because it's not, firstly, the spirit that were with me. Because when I get back, I landed into the spirit world among some certain spirits which were previously with me. And then it's then that I realized that I know that they were actually that they were worried, that they were at war with me, that they were not just spirits around, that they're just not just staying around me for nothing, but they are affecting my daily lives, attacking me basically. So it was a spiritual warfare. But God has brought me away from, lifted me up from them, that they don't know what was happening to me, and I was taken away from them. But when I came back to their midst again. And it's just like they don't know where I've been or what has happened. And they were just trying to piece it together and say, who is this guy in the spirit with us? And they were wrestling, battling, and everything. But although the spirit rests too, but the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, because they are mighty through God to the breaking down of strongholds. Because they form a stronghold around me that I couldn't breathe, say a word, or say anything. They will say it, they will hear it, they knows it, and they turn into command. So among these them, there are all other spirits there are there. But I was able to pick up each one of them and understand what they were up to. The spirit world is really an enticing world. Interesting, I would say. Interesting. Because of what they get doing in there and what they do. But And again, if I'm just finishing a new book, but which is based about the spirit world, and it's taking real command, real authority in the spirit at the moment, because they don't expect me to come out with that kind of book, because it combines all the works of the spirit and the spirit itself, what the spirits are doing. Anyway, this will be the end of the episode today, and you can join me on another episode next time. And thank you for watching and listening. Goodbye. And by the way, if you haven't got a copy again, go and get your copy of Jesus the Egyptian. It's available on every digital store again. Buy your copy today and join us on another episode. Thank you, everybody, and goodbye. God bless.